Hello, good afternoon everyone. How are you today? I hope you will always be healthy in the midst of corona pandemic. A series of interesting news we have prepared for you with me, Adiva Rahmah. This is Afternoon's Manjapedia. It happened in the village of Bojongkondang, Cimanggung village, Cimanggung district, Sumedang, West Java, which caused dozens of us buried. By the combat team found 14 victims of landslide, 11 of them died. Heavy rains that poured in the Sumedang area made the cliffs in the village Bojongkondang, Cimanggung village, Cimanggung district, Sumedang landslide on Saturday afternoon. As a result of the landslide, a number of houses were buried by cliff materials as high as 20 meters and a width of 40 meters. According to residents, a number of houses were buried by landslide in field condition.
Yes, sure, there are still at home. It's not work over. There are afraid and there are children.
How many houses are filled?
Almost everything filled. That overhead. This way it's filled.
Shortly after the landslide occurred in Sukadana, Cimanggung village in West Java, the landslide happened so quickly when officials evacuated the avalanche material. One of the residents who had witnessed the landslide after the shock saw the event because it showed a number of residents were buried.
Just now there was a follow-up child so better until one was so injured.
But nothing is missing?
Nothing.
But was the bird earlier?
Yes, there is a son, his mother.
Until Sunday morning, Team SAR managed to evacuate the victim of number of 14 people. Of them survived, but 11 others died. The process of solving the search water has stopped at 2 a.m. Due to rainy conditions, are planned to resume at 7 this morning. Deril, Sumedang, West Java. Here, I will interview one of displaced victims at the post of SDN Cipagat. You think there's a refuge here?
Approximately 500 people.
When the incident happened, mother was doing what activists and where? Did the mother family members survive all?
Alhamdulillah, my family members survived all. Only survived minor injuries. Only my young son was seriously injured and now was in the near south center.
Has the donation made by the door been well distributed to this post?
Already, but we are here still in the despite need of baby clothes and other baby supplies.
Well, thank you. Back to Adiva in Smanya Studio.
And to find out the latest developments from the landslide disaster in Sumedang, already connect with us. There is Farah, journalist Manjapedia. Hello, good afternoon Farah. Can be told and described to us as bad as what happened there?
The most severe avalanche was because around her buried about dozen of houses inhabited by residents. And when the avalanche followed, it was a lot of residents who was looking at the avalanche condition, and also officers who were conducting evacuation that are currently there. There are evacuation efforts using heavy equipment, and the team that was lowered divided into 6 teams from each team 8 until people members.
From your description, means there is an avalanche long enough.
For the avalanche occurred 2 times because it probably occurred during the day. And then, after Maghrib, house officer made evacuation effort again. There was an avalanche at the site.
How many people so far are the team still looking for?
For the first avalanche, it is estimated that 8 people were buried at the top. And at the moment, we don't know how many victims are in this landslide.
Farah, can be confirmed whether the local dan ramil is the victim of this incident?
Yes, there is Dan Ramil too.
What about the survivors there? Whether the name has been handled by the local governments to get shelter?
If the shelter, I think there is not only. From the officer directly seeks to take action in the Puskesmas Sawadadap to do treatment action, so that some allowed to go home because mostly suffered minor injuries and so on.
What about the building? What are the conditions of people's homes and settlements? Are many affected?
So far, quite a lot of affected. In addition to the landslide points, also some began to shift the building.
Then, what about the weather there, Farah? This is the search process is still continuing. Whether it is cloudy or rainy, what obstacle the search team experience to find or evacuate victim?
For now, the weather is sunny, and by far the most obstacle to the depth of the avalanche that must still have to use heavy equipment while still using rude tools that do not support the search. The terrain is also heavy enough to evacuate the slope is almost 50 degrees more.
Farah, I see your shipment. On the screen, there is an ambulance there that evacuates the victim in the middle of the avalanche. How the real picture when the evacuation process, morning or night yesterday, was done?
From the evacuation last night, there were approximately dozen of ambulances from the landslide site to the Puskesmas, and a lot of the victims were evacuated at the time.
That means 8 people still haven't been found. Are there any reports from other residents, for example, who are looking for the families of 8 people who have not been found to date?
So far, from the residents who are looking for family, come also because it is on the second avalanche. There is likely still many residents who participate in witnessing the landslide condition. That still occur avalanche also earlier.
It means that at the moment the search for landslide victim is still being sterilized by officers, or are there any residents who help?
For now, no one is helping. Most volunteers and officers only.
People's homes there, I see quite severe damage. Whether there has been a statement from the local government to provide assistance for the affected residents are homeless.
So far, there has been no confirmation from the relevant parties that it may be delivered by the relevant party.
Well, we wait the latest information from you, Farah, that report directly from Sumedang, who are still looking for 8 people who have not been found. And viewers of the information, at the same time conclude our encounter in this afternoon's Manjapedia program. I am Adiva Rahmah, representing all relatives in charge of saying thank you, happy activities, and goodbye.